Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are flipping a Facebook find of this cute little wine bar with a fold out so you can make your drinks and whatnot. I'm starting off with sanding it, and I believe I did it with a 200, and it was actually at 80 grit sandpaper. So unfortunately, after sanding it, I realized that the top wood piece started to warp. So what I did was I took some wet towels and I laid on top of it, and I weighed it down with some different heavy items that I could, so it can maybe like bend back in shape. It semi worked, but I had to do it a few times to even get it to the point where it was. But that's what you see here. It's completely sanded and cleaned out. So I gave everything a light coat of primer. I used the spray version this time. It has shellac in it. Well, it's a shellac spray. There's also a liquid form that you can paint on, but I used, like I said, the spray. I gave it about 2 even coats on everything. It's fast drying, so it's not like you have to wait all day for it to be ready to paint. Once you spray it on, you give it about, I would say, 15 minutes in between coats. And then if you want to be extra, you can let it sit for an hour to make sure it's dry, but it's not necessary. So now, to give it that nice Anthropologie look, I decided to use these molds. I also seen this on another YouTube channel, so it was definitely inspiration to me. I was like, wow, it looked so good, so I had to give it a go. I will try to link the where I found those molds at. so that if you was interested in purchasing it, you can. It sets really fast, so you definitely want to get going and bending it and pulling it out and putting it where you want it before it completely hardens, because then you won't be able to bend it and shape it on the corners the way you want. So now that I'm done placing all my little molds where I want them, I am going to go ahead and get started with paint. I am using a chalk paint. Once again, this dries pretty quickly, and I think it did pretty well with the coverage. I do believe this is in Rust-Oleum, and I think it was Stormy Gray. I like the color. I wish, maybe it could have been a little bit more coverage with one side, but I'm patient. It's okay. I'm good with it. But I believe I gave a total of 3 coats and did some touch-up areas around the mold. Because of the mold sticking out, you do have to make sure you get in the nooks and crannies with a small brush. It took some time, but I was definitely pleased with the outcome. finished painting, when I opened up the cabinet or the doors and folded down the pull-out area for the wine bar, I realized that I didn't like the way it looked. It looked really dull. Now, my solution at the time was to use some stain that I had left so it can give it its shine, but now that I'm thinking, I definitely could have used some wood conditioner. It did not click for me at that moment. So if you don't want to do this way, you want to use the wood conditioner, definitely go with that. But it did give it new life, so I'm still happy with my decision. But next time I would just go through with the wood conditioner. So I used some leftover knobs from a previous project. I gave it a couple of coats of paint, and then for everything I gave it 3 protective coats of this spray on matte finish. Love it. Here's the before, and I hope you enjoy the after. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, be blessed.